What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Practical Elevate Performance, coming at you live. It's Thursday. Somehow it's Thursday again. Tomorrow's going to be Friday, and then in the blink of an eye, it's going to be Friday again because time moves too damn fast. So, just coming on here, chat a little about some stuff. It's been an awesome day so far, not going to lie. Day kind of started out kind of slow. I was tired as shit. Did my morning routine, drank some coffee, worked out. It's been an amazing day. Turned into an amazing day. So, because I wanted it to be an amazing day. Yeah, it's just been nice. Been doing client check-ins, updating plans all day. Got on the phone call some awesome people that I really enjoyed talking with. Some of them might be watching right now, and if that's the case, thanks for being awesome. It was fun talking to you. And so, yeah, but today, that's not what we're here to talk about. Today, we're here to talk about kind of going along with our theme of perfection and feeling like a perfectionist and things like that, is the concept, and everybody does this. This is not just for perfectionists. This is like everybody has done this at some point in their life, and that is constant comparison or comparing yourself to others. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why, when you do that, you basically paralyze yourself from, being the best version of yourself and actually working towards your goals. And a lot of times this leads to, a variety of things like gym anxiety, low self-confidence, not doing what you should be doing because you have this like this fear, or there's this like little bitch voice in your head, basically, that I like to call it, that is just telling you you can't do this, you suck, you're not as good as they are, you're not as pretty as they are, or look at their butt compared to my butt, or look at their arms, oh god, I hate my arms compared to how they, and all these intrusive thoughts that hit us in the face really hard and cause a lot of anxiety when we go to the gym and we work out and all this good stuff. And this applies to your fitness journey or weight loss journey or whatever it may be, big time, but it also applies to a shit ton of other parts of your life too, because not only do we compare ourselves to other people when it comes to, especially when we're in the gym, but we do it with everything. You might find yourself comparing yourself to your siblings or your partner, or I don't know, somebody that your partner used to date, or another employee that you work with who you just feel like is better than you in everything that they do, kind of thing. And I'm going to tell you why that's not good, why doing that is not healthy, and why it's not going to help you in the long run. And it's actually going to slow you down, and it's going to basically paralyze you from being able to, actually start to work on those things and be the best version of yourself. And I say this a lot, it's easy to say, don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to say that, but then we do it anyways because we're human and we've formed these, basically neural pathways in our head, these habits that we're used to doing. As soon as we see somebody that's better than us, we instantly think they're so much better than I am. That instantly, that triggers that. And it's hard to, if you think of it this way, every time you think and act on a thought in a certain way, you're just encouraging that to happen again. You're basically creating this path of least resistance for that thought pattern of you feeling like you're comparing yourself to somebody. You've basically, and instead of, and it's a habit or whatever, a skill, and the opposite, of doing that would be oh, cool, good for them. They have that, and that's inspiring. That's good. Maybe one day I'll be able to do that. But right now I need to focus on myself and what I'm doing and be mindful of that. That thought pattern is a shitty dirt road that a horse and buggy goes down every once in a while, versus this super highway of thinking that you've created over the years, that you're constantly, every time you're comparing yourself and self-compare and comparing yourself to others, that constant comparison thought pattern and line of thinking is a super highway that you instantly react to and trigger with, and you go down every time that kind of thing happens. And so switching off of that super highway basically to that dirt path and strengthening and building that dirt path up into a new superhighway, basically, that's the name of the game, basically. And so that's where I'm kind of coming from with this. And why is that important? Well, if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, one, you're gonna make yourself feel like shit all the time, and you're never gonna like you're gonna be always second guessing yourself. You're always gonna be like, you know, in your head. You're not gonna actually be able to enjoy the process and enjoy being able to go to the gym and working out and getting like, you know, the mindset aspect of things, like the value from it there. You're not gonna be able to get it because you're gonna be constantly like in your head, like comparing yourself to everybody else and worrying about what other people are thinking about you. And that's hard to deal with, and that's kind of like a toxic thing, and it causes you to have a negative association with going to the gym, right? Like nobody wants to go somewhere where they're going to make themselves feel bad about themselves, right? And a lot of times, like, and honestly, pretty much almost all the time, it's you know, having those thoughts and feelings and then like basically projecting it out there. And so like you're making it like feel like it's a lot more real than it actually is. When in reality, like, you know, nobody cares at all. They're probably thinking about what they're going to have for lunch later, rather than, you know, how much better they look than you, basically. So that's where I'm coming out with this. And why, like, and so it's bad because, you know, you're paralyzing yourself. You're slowing your own self-growth down, and ability to like work on those things and change those things and be happy with yourself, because the more that you work on those things and the more that you're, you know, more positively thinking about these things and happier with yourself and gaining this confidence and be like, I'm awesome for doing this in the first place, rather than comparing yourself to other people, that's going to help, you know, get you that like momentum and be in that right mindset. That's going to help further like contribute to you succeeding at your goals, rather than like, you know, being a destructive source of it, basically. So that's where I'm coming out with this. Like, stop comparing yourself to other fucking people is what I'm saying. Like, stop doing it, because you are yourself. You are not them. You are not me. You are nobody else out there in this world right now, unless you have a twin. But even then, like, due to environmental factors, you're different from them. So deal with that too. You're not the same as them either. And so, yeah, you're your own person, and you need to start acting like it, and you need to start like realizing that your journey is your own, and you're going to get there when you get there, and you can't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20. You know, like just stop doing that and enjoy the process and work on that. And it's easy for me to just be like, stop doing that. Like, stop, you know, like it's easier said than done. I get that. But you need to start taking baby steps towards working on, you know, thinking about these things differently, and, you know, loving yourself more, and, you know, having compassion for yourself, instead of saying like, look what they got and look what I got, rather, and look what I don't have, basically, and be more along the lines of like, wow, look what they've achieved. That's inspiring. Maybe, you know, one day I'll get there too. Like, look at what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm bettering myself by being at the gym right now. That's in and of itself an awesome and amazing thing. And so that's what I encourage you to do. If you're somebody that deals with this, if you're somebody that's constantly comparing yourself to others, like, when you have that thought, cut the head off of that snake. Just be like, no, like, that's not true. That's not, like, tell yourself that. Tell yourself, like, that's not true. Like, I'm, you know, I'm great. Like, I'm working on myself, and, you know, I need to appreciate and love myself more, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, stop comparing yourself, because you're only slowing yourself down, and probably increasing your chances of quitting, because you're going to get down on yourself and you're going to make yourself feel bad. And that's not good for anybody. That's not healthy. So, yeah, whether it's when it comes to the gym or friends or family or whatever, like stop, like, cut the head off of that snake of that thought, and, you know, love yourself a little bit more. So anyways, that's my life for today, guys. I hope that this was valuable. I hope, you know, this perspective of where I'm coming from is, you know, helpful in helping you recognize if you're somebody that does that. Are you somebody that does that? Like, you know, everybody does that to an extent in one way or another. It's just kind of like a reactionary thing. But something that will help you out a ton is, you know, working on being mindful, you know, establishing some sort of like, you know, gratitude system, where you focus on the positives more, right? You know, gratitudes, journaling, whatever it may be. The other thing too, meditate. Like, meditation will help you a shit ton if you focus on doing these things. Meditation can help you focus on being mindful. And I'm not talking about sitting there with your fingers crossed like this, like legs crossed, like humming or whatever. If that's your thing, like, that's fine. I'm talking about taking some time to be in your own head and work through like your thoughts, and work through, like, you know, focusing on, you know, separating yourself from your thoughts, and like there's this like whole like blue sky analogy, like you know, being able to recognize the blue sky and that your thoughts are these clouds, and that, you know, just because you're having these thoughts doesn't mean you have to like entertain them or react to them, basically, kind of thing. And so doing that, whenever you have these like intrusive thoughts of like constant comparison, you're going to be able to handle those a lot better and recognize that those are just like thoughts and they're not actually what's actually like the truth of the matter. So that's just my little tidbit on that, and that's why I think that that's important. That's a really good way to get into being able to be more like, you know, like positively oriented with your life, basically. So yeah, that's my freaking live for today. If you got value out of this, give me a like. You know, I appreciate it. Helps me with the algorithm. Helps more people see my shit. If you know, like what I'm saying. If you're watching this at a later time, hit me with that hashtag replay. Let me know that you saw this live. And if you think that somebody, you know, will get value from this, if you know somebody who's constantly comparing themselves to others, or is constantly like posting about shit on Facebook about how like they aren't happy with themselves, or they, you know, wish that they could just lose weight, or like so-and-so has it so easy and like it's hard for me, like send them this video, like, or tag them in it, or whatever need be, because it might help them. It might help them get out of that funk. It might help them start working on their mindset a little bit more, so that way they can stop paralyzing themselves with constant comparison. They can actually start moving forward and being a lot more productive with themselves. So that's my life for today, guys. I really appreciate everybody that's tuning in and watching this. And yeah, have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later, everybody.